Hello dear students. Yesterday we have started our chapter, that is control and coordination. After going through video lectures, some of the students have asked some doubts. Some of the concepts were not clear in last or say previous lecture. So I am going to revise it again, that concepts will be in short now, whichever more doubts were there that I am talking about. So what is by control and coordination? Living organisms respond to various stimuli like heat, light, cold, touch, pressure, etc. So this response, so how we are responding to such type of stimuli? For example, if we are touching a hot object, we remove our hand. So this is a response to a dangerous situation. So it is brought about in all animals with the help of two main systems. Which are these two main systems? First is nervous system and second is endocrine system. So in nervous system, this nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord or spinal network and huge network of nerves. So what are the functions of nervous system? The functions of nervous system are to receive the information from environment, to receive the information from various body parts, that is stimuli. When comes, it get converted into a response. And third function of nervous system is to act accordingly through muscles and glands. So question arises, what is meant by stimulus? So any change in the environment to which the organism respond is called as a stimulus. I repeat, any change in environment in which the organism responds is called as a stimulus. So what are the changes? For example, outside or say in environment there is a cold. Accordingly the organism responds. How? There will be a shivering. Outside there is a high temperature, that is hot environment is there. What happen? Sweating starts. So this hot environment or cold environment, all these are called as a stimulus. So touching a hot plate, so hot plate will be a stimulus. Now what is by response? The reaction of our body to stimulus is called as a response. So when there is a hot environment outside, we start sweating is called as a response. When we are touching to a hot object, at that time we remove our hand very quickly, suddenly. So this is called as a response. So withdrawal of our hand on touching hot plate, it is called as a response. So have you understood what is by response? The reaction of our body to a stimulus is called as a response. Now what is by coordination? Now the working together of various organs of the body of an organism in a proper manner to produce appropriate reaction to stimulus is called as a coordination. Once again, the working together of various organs, we have many organs like we have liver, we have heart, we have we have legs, we have hand, we have brain, we have eyes, we have ears. So all these organs, when they are working together in proper manner, so that appropriate reaction to stimulus should produce, this is called as a coordination. So for example, if we see a snake or if we see a tiger in front of, what will be the sudden reaction of us? Probably we will be ready to fight or else we will run away. So from these two, for both these two reactions, what will be required? There will be requirement of high energy. There will be requirement of movement of muscles. So for movement of muscles, for requirement of high energy, what will be needed? There will be a need in the muscles or in our body, wherever mitochondria are there, they should produce more energy. To produce more energy, what will be required? to produce more energy there will be requirement of oxygen. So this oxygen will be provided by whom? This oxygen will be provided by blood. How it will provide? By pumping the blood. So who will pump the blood? Heart will pump the blood. Okay, heart will pump the blood, but heart will take oxygen from where? Heart will take oxygen from lungs. So to just run away or to be ready for fight, these all organs of our body are involved. They are working together. So when our eyes look at the tiger or towards the snake, that stimulus reaches to the brain, and in response our body get prepared, get ready to either to fly away or to fight with the conditions. So this is called as a coordination. So coordination is, once again I repeat, the working together of various organs of the body of an organism in a proper manner to produce appropriate reactions to stimuli is called as a coordination. Now next question is, what is meant by receptors? Receptors, I told you in last lecture also, these are specialized tips of some nerve cells that detect the information from the environment. I repeat, specialized tips of some nerve cells that detect the information from the environment are called as a receptors. So these receptors are of different types. For example, the receptors which detect the sound are called as a phonoreceptors. They are present inside the ear, inner ear. Hearing or balance of the body is their function. Then next comes photoreceptors. So the receptors which detect light are called as a photoreceptors. They are present in our eyes. Thermoreceptors. So I told you, when outside there is a heat, that time we start sweating. So these thermoreceptors are present in the skin. They detect pain, touch, heat, etc. Then olfactory receptors, they are responsible for smell. So obviously they will be present in the nose. And gustatory receptors, this is tongue. They are present in the tongue. So these are various types of receptors which are present in the body, and these receptors detect the environmental conditions collectively either or singly. They will detect the environmental conditions, and accordingly the stimulus will be sent to the brain and to the different parts of the body. Now next is a neuron. So what is by neuron? It is structural and functional unit of nervous system. This is structural and functional unit of nervous system. Somewhere we have used this word structural and functional unit. Where it was? It was in fundamental unit of life chapter. So what is the fundamental unit of life? That is cell. Likely these neurons are fundamental unit of nervous system. So what is by neuron? It is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Neurons are also called as neurons, NES, nerve cells and nerve fibers. These are electrically excitable cells in the nervous system that functions to process and transmit information. Invertebrates, the animals who are having vertebral column. Invertebrates, neurons are the core components of the brain, spinal cord and peripheral nerves. So these primary components of the neuron are the soma, that is cell body, the axon, a long slender projection that conduct electrical impulses away from the cell body. Dendrites, these are tree-like structures, branching patterns are there that receives messages from the other neurons. And synapse, specialized junction between the neurons. These are the parts of a primary components of the neuron. So neuron consists of dendrites, which I am going to repeat it again. Neurons are made up of three parts: dendrites, cell body and axon, and synapse. In that dendrites, information is acquired, cell body and axons are for processing of information or for travel as an electrical impulse from the cell body, and at synapse part where electric signals is converted into chemical signals messages for onward transmission to next neuron by release of neurotransmitters. So this is about the structure of primary neuron. In last lecture I told you, I have shown you the structure of neuron, how it looks. The axon, that is nerve fibers, transmit electrical signals from the cell body. The dendrites are the branching fibers that receives electrical signals from other neurons. The shape of neuron is determined by the job it does. So neurons are of different shapes. What is my synapse? Now this synapse is a junction, the point of contact between the terminal branches of axon of one neuron with the dendrite of other neuron is called as a synapse. So it is a junction when two different neurons, so first neurons, nerve endings, when they will pass information from electrical impulses to chemical impulses, and this information will be received by other dendrite. So the gap between these two neurons is called as a synapse. I repeat, the gap between two neurons is called as a synapse. Next part, and very important part on which questions are asked in the examination, is reflex action. So what is meant by reflex action? So reflex action is an automatic response of the body to a stimulus. For example, withdrawal of hand, knee, jerk, etc. on touching a hot plate. So automatic response to stimulus is called as a reflex action. For example, you are sleeping, you are in a deep sleep, and something comes and pinches on your finger. What happens? During night only we remove our finger from our hand from that particular situation. So this is called as a reflex action. You have touched a hot object, suddenly you remove your hand. Without knowing, without thinking, we process the information. So this is called as a reflex action. So what is my reflex action? Is automatic response of the body to stimulus is called as a reflex action. Then this reflex action is taking place. This reflex action is taking place by one pathway. So that pathway which follows reflex action is called as a reflex arc. It is called as a reflex arc. So the pathway taken by nerve impulses in a reflex action is called as a reflex arc. So what will be the pathway? Let us take example of we are touching hot object. When you are touching a hot object, at that time stimulus will be heat. So when I am touching a hot object, at that time heat as a stimulus will be collected by the receptor organ. For example, skin, whatever tips on my fingertips, whatever skin is present, that will be a receptor organ, that is skin. Now this skin or receptor organ will carry that impulses through my hand. These will be called as a sensory nerves. They are called as a sensory nerves. So do remember, the nerve cells which carry information from organ to brain are called as a sensory nerves. After reaching at spinal cord, the sensory nerves will send one segment of information towards brain, and at spinal cord level, with the help of neurotransmitters, there will be a decision, and based on previous examples, the decision will be given to motor neurons, and these motor neurons will give information to effector organ, that is muscle cells, to contract or to relax. So due to contraction and relaxation, our hand is moving. So to contract or to relax, this command will be given to the effector organ, that is muscles, and in that response will take place. In that response will happen, that withdrawal of our hand will take place. So this was about reflex action, how reflex action takes place, and the pathway which is taken by reflex action, which is called as a reflex arc. There are two types of actions, voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary means it is under the control of a person. If I wanted to write, then only I will write. If I don't want to write, I will not. I want to play, okay, I will play. I don't want to play, I will not play. So these all actions which are under control of a person are called as a voluntary actions. And there are certain involuntary actions also. So which are these involuntary actions? I don't want to breathe, still I will breathe, isn't it? So this is involuntary action. I don't want to, my heart should beat, but still it is beating. So this is involuntary action. So involuntary means it is not under the control of a person. For example, heartbeats, breathing, we cannot stop this. They are not under our control. They will be automatic. These are called as involuntary actions. Let us talk about mechanism of reflex action. A reflex mechanism involves a receptor organs, an effector organ, and some types of communication network. When a sensory receptor, for example our fingertips, is stimulated, stimulus is collected from the environment, for example hot plate, signal pass from it along a sensory neuron to spinal cord. So the signals will pass along and it will reach till the spinal cord. Spinal cord is present in our vertebral column. The message travel out of the spinal cord along a motor neuron. Now this is another pathway, and once again the information which will come, it will be in some other pathway. The message travel out of the spinal cord along a motor neuron to the effector organ, for example a muscle or a gland, which shows the response. Such a pathway is called reflex arc. In most cases, however, the basic physiological mechanism behind a reflex is more complicated than the reflex arc theory would suggest. Additional nerve cells capable of communication with the other part of the body beyond the receptor and effector are present in reflex circuit. So it is but obvious that I told you neurons are present in the segments, first neuron, then second neuron, and so on. So between these two neurons there was a synaptical gap. Why this synaptical gap is required? Why this synapse is required? So that from that gap, from that point, at various other neurons also the message should pass on. So that's the reason the how simple this reflex arc looks. It is not that simple. So additional cells which are capable of communication are also present in the reflex arc. So this is how mechanism of reflex action takes place in the living organisms. Next part, that is human brain or human nervous system, we will see in next period. Again parts of brain and parts of human nervous system, we'll talk about it in coming session. Thank you.